Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we react to an article about Bleacher Report titled, "One Problem Every Team Has Been Having This Season That They Did Not See Coming," right, man? Just stuff that just happens, right? Like, that's every single season. It's how you make adjustments to those struggles out there, right, man? So, let's go ahead and get going on this. Let me know in the comment section below. What's like a struggle with your favorite NBA team that's really surprised you? Very curious, man. I read all the comments. So, yeah, let me know in the comment section below, and let's get going. So, the first one we have is the Atlanta Hawks with frigid shooting. So right now, the Hawks are 4-5 on the season, 11th in the Eastern Conference. It's like when it comes down to it, the Hawks definitely are a team that are built kind of on like spacing the floor and stuff like that. But it seems like a lot of NBA teams are kind of struggling with shooting this year. I don't know if it has to do with the ball. I don't know if it has to do with just adjusting to having like fans, in the arenas again, because all that stuff can make a difference, man. The new the new calls as far as like how they call fouls and stuff, man. There's so many different reasons, but yeah, like typically those jump shots don't just go away, and over time they find a way to correct themselves. Next up, we got the Boston Celtics with leaky defense. Yeah, you got the defense, but on top of that, you also have like, maybe some inefficiencies within the offense too, right, man? So when you got both those things combined together, it's no surprise that the Celtics are off to a little bit of a slow start on the NBA season. I mean, I didn't expect them to be in a bit of a transition year anyway, but regardless, like, yeah, like on paper, defensively, the team looks really good. So you think they would be able to have that be like their bread and butter this season, but so far it's kind of like like mediocre. Next up, we got the Brooklyn Nets with middling offense. I mean, losing your superstar point guard Kyrie Irving definitely is going to do that to you. But James Harden also, I mean, James Harden's usually back and forth. Like, he started off the season pretty slow, but it seems like he's kind of working things out again. And, yeah, I mean, it looked good against the Pistons yesterday, but then again, everybody looks good against the Pistons, so that's not really a great indicator, right, man? But, yeah, they have a lot of high-power offensive guys out there, but, I don't care if you're a big three or not. I mean, you look at, LeBron, D-Wade, and Chris Bosh. If you take any one of those guys off the team, yes, you're still left with two of the three, but you're still going to be a worse team because of not having that guy, right? So, it's a way to think about it. Next up, we got Charlotte Hornets, no room for James Bouknight. He looks really, I mean, he looked like really good, like early on, like in like the preseason and everything like that. He's going to get his chance. I mean, the Charlotte Hornets right now are 5-5 on the season. So it's like when it comes down to it, man, we know this team has potential to have really good games and also really bad games. And based off how the rest of the season goes, I mean, James Bouknight, if the team's not doing well, we can see him get some minutes. But if things are working, it's like, well, let's bring him along slowly. There's nothing wrong with that. Next up, we have Chicago Bulls with Patrick Williams' absence. Yeah, this one just really sucked, man, because Patrick Williams just, you could tell in the preseason and summer league that's just like he was ready to go, man. Like, he committed himself over the offseason to become a better player and everything, and he could have been really good defensively, and what this team could have used at the 4 spot, knockdown 3-point shooter. They'll be okay without him. DeMar DeRozan's been going off and everything, so yeah, man. He'll be back though. He'll be back. He'll be good to go. Next up, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers defensive rebounding. Yeah, this one, for a team that runs Lauri Markkanen at small forward, you would think the rebounding would actually be really good. Even guys like Colin Sexton, like for like guards, are typically pretty good rebound. I would say like Colin Sexton, like for being like a shorter guy, like he does okay rebounding at times, like at least in the years past he did. So yeah, this one is definitely baffling. I do not have an explanation for it. And you even got like Kevin Love, who's always been a good rebounder and stuff. So don't really know about this one, man. It's interesting. We got the Dallas Mavericks with punchless offense. I assume, okay, yeah, so it says that 2 seasons back, the Mavericks had a record for offensive efficiency. Now they trail all but 6 teams in the category. That one really doesn't make sense whatsoever, because if you look at the team, they haven't really changed that much over the years. So either teams, but I think that kind of sums up the Mavericks situation. I mean, they're 5-3 on the season right now, so it's like they're doing fine, but that's a good way to summarize, where it's like, if you keep doing what you keep on doing, then like others are going to improve and stuff like that, because they now have you as a threshold of what they need to do to get better and surpass you, offensively speaking and everything, right? And the Mavericks have not really made a ton of moves in the past few seasons. We got the Denver Nuggets, Michael Porter Jr.'s funk. Honestly, I don't really know how, like, what he's been doing this season. Looks like he's not shooting well from 3. So yeah, just another player for whatever reason, man. I have a feeling like the foul calls is probably a part of it, but I really do think too, like, that basketball could be something, because like years ago when they switched to that microfiber basketball, I don't know if you guys remember that or not. It definitely made a difference. It made a huge difference. So yeah, I can definitely see where that would affect a lot of these players. We got Killian Hayes for the Detroit Pistons. Killian Hayes, failure to launch. I mean, for what it's worth, last time I checked, Killian Hayes is actually the 3-point leader, like in percentage for the Detroit Pistons. So do with that what you will. We're also 1-8. But I don't know, man. Like, I have not seen enough of Killian play with Cade yet. I have not seen that enough. And I feel like that's when you really have to make that judgment. But yeah, if you only look at offense, then you might not think that Killian Hayes has been a good player, man. But I still see the court vision. I still see the defense. I know it's fun to say that, oh, he's going to be a bust because, people like to troll and stuff like that. But as somebody that watches the Pistons, I do recognize Killian has a long way to go, but I wouldn't call it a failure to launch quite yet. I would not quite. That's definitely way too early to even say that anyway. Next up, we got the Golden State Warriors. Still no scoring help for Steph. This is true because I thought that Jordan Poole was literally playing out of his mind last time I saw. So, and the Warriors are also 7-1. So I think they're doing okay, man. They're doing okay. So yeah. Next up, we have the Houston Rockets, Kevin Porter Jr.'s turnovers. This was one that I actually had a bit of a big concern with because I know we played some point guard last year, and I know, you could take any small forward or shooting guard in the NBA. If you tell them, hey, you're going to play point guard now, they would be able to get to, at least in a lot of cases, they'd be able to get that level, at least trying it out, because they're all basketball players, and it's like these are all guys that, in college and high school handled the basketball all the time anyway. But plain simple, man, like Kevin Porter, he's not a natural point guard. That's not his natural thing. So, yeah, the turnovers, especially in the NBA when you're asked to change your position to that, it's really no surprise to me whatsoever. Next up, we got the Indiana Pacers, defensive decline. Yeah, I don't really got too much to say about this one. They got Miles Turner, who's always been a good defensive player and everything. TJ McConnell, always does well in the steal department and everything. I still think Sabonis is pretty slow-footed or flat-footed, I should say, for a power forward. But, that's something that they've been dealing with for years anyway. So that's not really an excuse. A lot of it could just be, just new coaching schemes and stuff like that. A lot of different reasons for defensive decline. Next up, we have Los Angeles Clippers, non-Paul George scoring. Yeah, the Clippers right now are 4-4. Paul George has been playing out of his mind and everything, man, like MVP caliber, if you ask me. But you could just kind of look at the roster, and I don't know how you how didn't you see this one coming? Look at the rest of the roster, right? It's like there's guys that can knock down shots. There's guys that can give you 15 to 20 points every now and then, but not that consistent guy out of Paul George until Kawhi Leonard's back and healthy. So I'm not really. I saw that one coming, I guess. Next up, we have Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron's shot distribution. So it says it's tough to pin down the most powerful tool in LeBron's arsenal. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know, man. I still think that LeBron James, well, for one, he's out with an injury now for a week or so. But at the same time, too, LeBron has always been the guy that made plays for others. But I think he also recognizes, just with his extremely high basketball IQ, that he knows he can, get those passes off and everything. But he also knows that Russell Westbrook, to get the most out of him, he needs to be doing that too. And I think to LeBron, it's more important that he gets Russell Westbrook going early in the season because LeBron knows he can turn on at any point. So, yeah, I'm not too concerned about that one. Here we got Memphis Grizzlies, Jaren Jackson's inaccuracy. Yeah, man, I was really expecting him to be maybe a most improved player candidate. Right now, the Grizzlies are 5-4. A lot of that is because Ja Morant's been playing like an MVP himself. But yeah, man, Jaren Jackson too. Another guy that missed, I think, all of last season, didn't he? Or at least most of it or something like that. So he'll figure things out. He's a 6'11 player that can block shots, put the ball on the floor, and knock down the three-point shot. That's going to be just so sought out in the NBA, and it's just going to work in any offense. So he'll get there. Next up, we got the Miami Heat. Duncan Robinson looks mortal from range. I don't know if Duncan Robinson is just feeling, I don't know if he came into the season, maybe his legs, a little on the weak side, maybe skipped a leg day, but I know I was watching the Heat the other night, and even the announcers were saying, just the way he was shooting, he had no leg under his shot. So I don't know if it's a fatigue thing with him or whatnot. All these NBA players, when it comes down to it, they're human. And it's just if you come into a season not completely ready to go, they can just do so much to you, right? So, yeah. Okay, we got the Milwaukee Bucks, absence and skyrocketing. This one did not surprise me one bit. I said before the season started, I expected the Bucks to go through maybe a stage of fatigue or injury bug or anything like that, man. Just because I mean, damn, just the grind they put on to win that championship. It's like the season did not end that long ago. So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Like, it takes so much out of your body, mind, and soul to win a championship. So, yeah, not caught off guard by it, but as long as they're good by the playoffs, they'll be fine. So, yeah, I mean, rest it up, you know? T-Wolves, the offense is holding back the defense. Yeah, this is the NBA. Wow. The NBA's seventh best defense and sixth worst offense. I would have never guessed that. Wow, that seems so opposite for the makeup of this team, doesn't it? Like you look at the team, you're like, wow, look at these great offensive players, but and it's like they need like fill like the defensive holes, but wow, look, this one's surprising to me, man. I have nothing to say about it. That definitely did. I definitely did not see that coming. I have no explanation for it. Next up, we do have the Pelicans. Lonzo Ball's absence is palatable. Yeah, I mean, you're missing Lonzo Ball. You're also missing Zion a lot of the season, too. So it's like, I mean, Devontae Graham's a good player. Like, don't get me wrong, man. Like he's a fine player. He deserves to be in the NBA. But Lonzo Ball, was a top pick for a reason. So you replace that with a guy that I believe was undrafted. Nothing against him, nothing against undrafted players. But, yeah, you're going to have a downfall with that. It's, I saw that one coming. Next up, we have the New York Knicks defensive slippage. Well, luckily for the Knicks, I mean, obviously you want to embrace your defense, especially having Nerlens Noel and Mitchell Robinson and everything like that. But there's also some sacrifice to be made too. Like when you bring in Kemba Walker, Kemba's not a great defensive point guard. So I mean, the issue they addressed this season was that they needed some more, shot creating and everything. And that's what, Fournier and Kemba provide. Like, as far as being, like, defensive specialists, that's, like, really not their thing. So, yeah, it's a little trade-off, I suppose. Next up, we have the OKC Thunder. No support scoring for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It's okay. The team's in a full-on rebuild. Shai's looking great. As long as you see, moments of greatness from other players and just know that these are, like, guys worth investing in as far as the rebuild goes, you'll be okay. It's not really an issue to me. Next up, we got the Orlando Magic. Jalen Suggs might need a minute. So I guess this is Jalen Suggs' situation is so weird. I don't think it's that he needs a minute. I think he needs a commitment. The Magic have all these different guards, and I understand a lot of them are really good. Like Cole Anthony's really good. Jalen Suggs is really good. Markelle Fultz, I don't think's played yet, but he's typically really good. You got, RJ Hampton. There's just so many guards on this team, and for Jalen to go into every game knowing that he's not the primary point guard, just knowing that he gets to run the offense, that's an issue, man. That's as a rookie, I feel like point guard's the toughest spot to play in the NBA. As a rookie, and you could just see, where that would be a big adjustment. Next up, we got the 76ers. Ben Simmons isn't blinking. We're going to be blinking pretty soon, man, because I know they just recently started finding him again. So they're like, yeah, if you're not going to commit to seeing are the team specialists and stuff, then, we don't really know what's going on. We don't know if you're just saying things just so you don't get fined. So I don't really know, man. Yeah. I think we all saw that one coming too. Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker's shooting rates. Another player struggling with their shots. So I don't think it's just Devin Booker. It's so many players for so many different reasons, man. So yeah, I mean, we know Devin Booker. We know he's a great scorer. That's what he does. So if so many other players are having shooting issues, at that point, you can't really look at Devin Booker by himself. We got the Portland Trailblazers, Damian Lillard's sluggish start. Literally same answer as Devin Booker. Just missing his shots, man. I mean, he's been atrocious from three and everything like that. But that's just the one common factor. It's it's not just Damian. It's a lot of players this season. So, yeah, I guess that's something maybe to give you hopeful thinking about. I wonder if they're going to switch back to the old ball or not. Sacramento Kings, the backcourt is falling short. Haven't really watched too many Kings games this season, but yeah, I know Harrison Barnes been really good. I don't know. I was expecting some big things from De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Haliburton, Davion Mitchell. Anytime I look at the box score for a Kings game, I usually look at least the box scores every single night because obviously I can't watch every single game. But I thought Davion was looking really good. So I don't know, is maybe De'Aaron Fox having a little bit of a slower season or something? Here we got the San Antonio Spurs. They don't have a closer. They don't need a closer because they don't want to win games right now, man, because they need to get that first or second pick in the draft. Easy. Toronto Raptors, the shooters are quiet. I just really see a common theme in this article, man. I really see a common theme. Utah Jazz, collective cold spell. They're 7-1 on the season. So, yeah, I mean, I don't see that, I guess it's hard to, I guess when you have to think of something, you know what I'm saying? Collective cold spell is fine to put down, but it's hard to really complain about a team that's 7-1. And then finally, we got the Washington Wizards. Bradley Beal isn't Bradley Beal yet. Yes, he is, man. Yes, he is. The thing about Bradley Beal is that, a lot of players in the NBA, if you look at the recent years of Bradley Beal's situation and just the amount of shots that they would be able to have and everything, they could put up crazy scoring numbers. But Beal no longer is the team. He's part of a team. And that's so important, man. The Wizards right now are 6-3 on the season. These new additions have been great. And I think Beal is okay with taking maybe a little bit of a lesser role because he can save himself for later in the season, right? So, yeah, that's completely fine, man. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. That is all we have for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.